mean, a lot of people, the majority of the hip hop community, who knows the history, who actually lived it, the majority of the hip hop community at large recognizes, 1973 as the birth of the hip hop culture, and I'm those people as well. But although it was the birth of the hip hop culture to a degree, it didn't really become the hip hop culture that we know of today until maybe 1977, 78. But I would say 78 more, because by 78, then the MC groups began to, be present, and prior to 1978, if there were any MC groups, they were not notable. They were what we would call toys, and the people who, the practitioners of hip hop, who are the innovators or the pioneers of hip hop. A lot of the pioneers and innovators of hip hop, more recently, have been counting their toy time, but I'm not one of those people. I don't make reference to the time in hip hop when I began that no one knew me, because I wasn't relevant and no one knew me. So you couldn't say, I saw Rahiem on the scene if you didn't know I was Rahiem. You had to start from the point of reference in which you knew who I was. So that's the point.
Yeah, like I started making records in 6th grade on cassette. And yeah, I get you. I hear that all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear that all the time.
Cats, a lot of cats, predate their timeline, of when they actually became known, because they want to be recognized as being a part of the beginning. But the mistake that they're making is, if no matter how significant or insignificant the contribution, it was a contribution that you made to the culture nonetheless, and you'll be recognized for that. But when you skew the timeline and embellish the timeline to make it appear as though you started earlier than what you actually did, because the pioneers of hip hop is such a small community, and even down to the party goers, like it was such a small community of party goers that like we knew the majority of them, like even by name almost, you know what I mean? So, if you used to frequent, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, or DJ Breakout, DJ Baron and the Funky Four, if you frequented those parties, there's a great chance that we know your name, and if we don't know your name, we definitely know your face. And so if you became someone else, someone notable in hip-hop later on, and you attended our parties, we know that you were there because we recognize your face, and now you're somebody. So now we get to put the face with, the name with the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
hell yeah. And that's definitely, people get timelines misconstrued and stuff like that, but you were there. What I'm saying? You were there when it really kicked off and it started to blow up. You know what I'm saying? Prior to that, was it something that was just like done in the streets, at the parks, and things of that nature? Like, how did they really, get in tune with creating hip hop as a genre of music?
Right. You wait. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? You cut out for a second.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm saying, you were there. What I'm saying, when all of it really started to jump off. What I'm saying, but before it really got real big, when it was something that was just done at parties and on the blocks and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Can you name anyone specifically that you recall that kicked it all off? Was it Kool Herc or somebody like that, or was it someone before that?
Well, you know, again, the hip hop that we know of today. Now, you know, we have recognized over the years, we've recognized Kool Herc as being, you know, the father of hip hop, which you know, Kool Herc, Clark Kent, Coke LaRock, Timmy Tim, they are the fathers of hip hop, not Kool Herc by himself, because a lot of the records that Kool Herc played at his parties were due to, you know, Timmy Tim and Clark Kent actually going and finding those records.